Hello, dear educators. A very good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all of you. I hope you all are doing well. Hello, Miss Veena. Hello, Mr. Asad, Mr. Lokesh. Hello from Sudan. Hi from Greece as well. It's so nice to have you all back with another amazing session. Hi, Mr. Rajveer. Hi, Miss Devi. Amazing journey into the world of tech. Indeed, it is. Hi, Miss Ruchi. Good evening, Miss Raksha ma'am. All right, so I hope you all are good, and we are just going to wait for just 1 or 2 more minutes. So let everybody tune in, and then we will be beginning our session. Hi, Mr. Akshay, welcome back. We were missing you yesterday. We will be starting up the session in just some time. Let everybody join in. Yes, indeed, Python is good. Make sure to continue the ritual. Kindly drop down your name and the country name from which you are tuning in from. So you have people joining us from India, Greece, Pakistan, Nigeria, Sudan, UAE, and more. So make sure to drop in your country name. Yes, I did notice, Mr. Akshay. Hi, Miss Pola. Hi, everybody. We have people joining us from Kenya as well. That's so nice. Mr. Dave is here again. We love to have you. I think it's the right time to begin with today's session then, shall we? Okay. So today's session is going to be about modular programming. So what exactly modular programming is, if you might be wondering, it is a way to modernize programming in a very much or in a very better, efficient way. Because what we want is we want less number of code to do more number of activities or more number of segments to be covered in with help of just fewer lines of code. Or let's say if I want to repeat something, how will I be doing that? With the help of functions. If I want to store something in a modular way, how may I do that? With the help of arrays, aka list. So we already have covered and talked about the basics. We have covered some basic parts of Python programming that you need to know, indentation and everything as well. We also talked about loops. We talked about lists and tuples. What's the difference between both of them? We also talked about conditional statements so far. And now I think it's right time to step up the game and to move ahead and including modular programming practices into our these sessions that we're going to have. So in this particular session, we're going to focus at arrays as well as functions, which comes under the modular programming in Python. Because arrays and functions really does help us take our program to another level. And that is what this training session is all about. All right. So this is the third training session. And if you haven't watched the first two ones, I will request you that we always keep on sharing those training session links in the WhatsApp and Telegram group. So you can join that. If you're not able to find that there, then you will be able to find it on the STEMpedia's channel, which you are watching this right now. So let's begin without any more delays. So today we are going to talk about arrays and functions as I mentioned. We're going to take a look at how to create an array and how to access it and how to modify it. Basically, array is more like list, or it is list only. And then we're going to talk about using loops to go through or to parse in an array, as well as we're going to talk about other modular programming practices like using functions. And same way, we will be creating two similar activities that use these modular programming practices and the ones that we have done so far. So that is what is the agenda for this session. I'll quickly move towards understanding arrays. Now, what do you think array is? I've already told you it's basically list. It's basically putting your data in a list and accessing it in a way that it makes us, I would say, less worrisome, because we don't have to worry about what exactly is happening or what the backend might look like. All we need to do is put in a lot of data and then it's good to go. So my quick question would be, what do you think an array is and why an array is used and why it is more popular choice of data type when you are storing a large number of data? I've already talked about lists, and as I mentioned, array is list only. So I'm just tricking down the questions. So make sure, but the answer is same. So make sure that you drop down what you think why array is important and why array is more popular in the comments. Array and C++ is a collection of similar type of elements, right, Ms. Ruchi? Mr. Akshay says storing multiple data in a single variable. Indeed, it is. Array is a single variable that can hold multiple pieces of data. Exactly. What about others? What do others think of arrays? We also talked about few positive points of lists. You can use that points here as well, because as I mentioned, it's pretty similar. It's similar only, not pretty similar. Stores multiple values in single variable set of data with multiple dimensions. In one variable, we can store more data. A collection of elements of all same type stored in one variable. That's nice. Array is a homogeneous group of homogeneous elements. That's a very nice way to explain it. Python with you, another great thing. Okay. Lists are mutable. Exactly. Exactly. Arrays are also mutable. Lists are a collection of heterogeneous elements, but arrays a collection of similar elements. Indeed. That's the major difference. I was about to come to that as well. Thank you, Ms. Ruchi. List can store different values, but array can only store same values. Indeed. See, you guys are very fast. Uh, Paula says a data structure that stores a collection of elements, typically the same data type, in a contiguous memory location. I have to say that's the best one I've got so far. Okay, so array is basically like a chain of similar data types. Let's say if I want to store marks of, or let's say I want to store scores or marks of how much students have scored in their science exam. So I'm storing just that one type of value in a single array. So what is happening? A chain of data is created. And as Paula just mentioned, it's typically the same data type in a continuous memory location. So that is why I'm saying it's a chain, because the entire data that we are putting up in an array, it's going to be having a continuous memory location. So let's say this is my array over here, which you can see. Again, array looks like a list, but it's not a list. And what's the major difference? You already have mentioned it down in the comment box, and that is array will be having only one type of data. Either it is going to have numbers, which is integers, either it's going to have characters or words. It can't have mixed type of data like lists do. Rest of the like pros is same as list. They are mutable, they are easily accessible, they can be edited, they can be sliced, they can be modified, whichever term suits the best. So right over here is a prime example of an array. As you can see, we have values 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50 here in front of my screen. So what do I mean by continuous memory locations? So this value, which is 10 in the CPU, this value will have, let's say, just for example, it's going to have 110. This is the location of this particular value. So the location of 20, which is next to 10, is going to have value 111. Or will it be 101? It depends on the binary system. Again, it again depends on where exactly you're storing the data and how exactly you're going to access it. So that binary system will again be tweaked around. Then this one will be the next one. 1112. Just for example, I'm telling it to you, but it will be stored in binary numbers. The location, because computer only understands binary language. Binary is zeros and ones. That's the only language computer understands, even in programs. So whenever you're writing a program, the computer will turn it into binary system or binary program and then read it and give you output in binary, but that output will be visible to you in whichever form you want it to. All right. So yeah, just for example, they are going to have continuous memory locations. Therefore, it's also called as chained data type because all the values are chained together. They can't be separated. They can't have different values. They can't have different locations, right? So this is what an array is. A type of data that is going to store similar type of values in a continuous memory location. I think we are good to go. Okay, let's quickly take a look at how to create an array because that is, of course, the first most reason why we are going to take a look at array. I will tell you because we are going to use it in the coming activities that we are going to do for this session. Okay, I'll quickly share my PictoBlox screen. Kindly allow me a moment. There you go. So right over here on my PictoBlox, this is again, if you're joining for the first time, this is what the PictoBlox Python editor environment looks like. Once you open PictoBlox, you will be welcomed with this window right over here in front of your screen. You have to choose the Python editor one. Once you click on it, this is the interface that will be opened. All right, and if you haven't, it's a must to download the PictoBlox application because this is the only application in which you have to create your projects and submit the SB3 files. Okay, all right, I'm just quickly going to give you an example of arrays and how exactly they look like. I'm just going to copy paste the example which was there on the PPT. So as you can see, right over here, I have created an array. I have named that array as my array. Again, the name can be different as per your choice. It can be Vivek. It can be STEMpedia. It can be Mr. Akshay's name. It can be Paula's name. It can be Miss Nikita's name. It can be any name, which is whichever name that you want to pick out for an array. But if you want, you can also name it simply my array. Just for example. Then it is storing one single type of value, which is integer, right? So now, whenever I want to print this array, there is only one way using loops. You have to use loops to print your array. Now, can anybody tell me what's the reason behind that? Can't we simply type print my array and print the entire array? Miss Marina asked, if you declare the array using square brackets, will it be a list and will you be able to use built-in methods for list? Built-in methods for list can be used. So you can modify it, as I mentioned. You can remove, you can append, you can pop, you can slice. That is something that you can do. But there is only one difference, as I mentioned. That difference is it's going to have similar data type. That's it. It can't have mixed data type. If I'm going to have mixed data type, then it's not an array, it's a list, right? Because I will also show you one good example, which is there on the LMS as well, in which we are using some of the functions of arrays as well, which is similar to the lists. Different location, index value. Okay, one of you says different location. Future Minds Hub says index value. Okay, let's try it out. Let's just print my array. And now I want you to first of all tell me what you think output of this particular print statement will be. I want the answers in the chat box. Traversal of arrays possible with loop only. Indeed. Address of temporary memory provided to array. Okay. It will print the elements of the list by iterating over each element. Indeed. Loops comes in handy in this way. The number of value has different index. Number of value has different index value. I didn't get you, Ms. Shamila. I'm sorry. A list of values? Okay. Entire list is printed at once. I have a doubt. What is the need of importing array module? Importing array module? Series of comma separated values. Okay. It will be random from different computer. Okay. Let's try it out then, shall we? So most of you are saying it will be comma separated values. Let's do that. So there you go. These values are printed. I hope you can see it on the screen. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Then why do we need for loop? Can anybody answer that? Why do we need for loop? Again, I want to answer the chat box. What's the need of for loop? There's just one single word that you need to type down. Again, waiting on for your answers. If we need separate value, okay. I said one word answer. Though you are correct, but I want one word answer. To separate each values, correct. For loop is needed to process each element one by one, correct. But what's the one word? There's just one word that is used for this particular, all of it that you have mentioned. For iterations, maybe it's around that only. Iteration is one of the words, but it's around that. If you want to check for a single value, yes, indeed. Accessing iteration. Iteration, okay, we can say, but there's one more word. Iteration is, I think iteration is something that I will put in the second, as a second word, but the first word is something that starts with a T. There you go. I've given you given you one more hint. If you use a for loop, you can format the output differently. Yes, you can. Traversing, exactly, Miss Shania. It is traversing. Traversing can be for either printing, either getting a single value, either doing or performing some functions, some array functions, or having some set of conditions. And for that, we need to have loops to traverse, and then iteration comes second. Iteration is something which I feel like it's not majorly there. It's something that comes in traversing only because first you need to traverse through the loop, then only you will be able to iterate it. Right? Repeating. Repeating is okay. Maybe we can use that word. Position. Position, yeah, getting index value. If you are stating that, then you're right. The address, right. Okay. So that is why we need a particular loop to basically loop through an array and get the values. All right. Now, another quick question. Will the index of this array, because it's an array, it's not a list, will it start from 0 or will it start from 1? Very basic question though. Traversing is accessing each element in array. Exactly, it is. 0. Very good, Mr. Akshay. It will start from 0 only. Any data type that you are storing together, a group of data type that you're, or a group of data that you are storing together, doesn't matter which type of data type it is, whether it be character, integer, or Boolean values, it will be starting from 0. Boolean is again 1 and 0 only, so that doesn't matter. But it will be starting from 0 only. Right, all of you are spamming 0. That's great. Okay. So now I will give you one more quick example of showing you how to traverse through an array. I'll quickly clear the screen up. So over here, what I have is I have an array which I have named as colors, in which I have assigned different values, which is red, blue, green, yellow. And what I'm doing I'm calling a for loop with help of for keyword and for color in colors. Now, why I've written color in colors here? What's the reason behind that? Can I write I here? Will that work? It's not a tricky question. It's a very simple, straightforward question. But I just wanted to know if we are getting it or not. Color is a variable name for traversing. Exactly. It can be I, it can be A, it can be R, it can be V, it can be any other name that you want to give. It's basically, if you remember, whenever we want to have a variable which is going to help us traverse or travel through an array or travel through in any data type or in any way, that particular variable is known as what type of variable? What type of variable this variable A is? We talked about it yesterday a lot. All of you are correct. It will iterate over color, right? It works. How many elements? Local variable? It is a local variable. Not the right word. Though it is a local variable indeed. Iterable. No. String var, no, Miss Tucci. Iterating variable, you are close. Index variable, no. T sibling says counter. Can you remember now? It's helping us to do what? It's a counter variable. Yes, it's a counter variable. Why it's a counter variable, if you might ask? Because we are counting the values that are there, and when we are counting it, it's helping us to iterate through the same or helping us to traverse through the same and then print the values. Simple, easy. Let's do that. Traversing variable, you can say that as well. So there you go. It's printing values. Good to go, right? Pointer variable. I wouldn't call it a pointer variable though. List, yup, okay, great. Adds one loop variable or iteration variable. It can be called as iteration variable or traversing variable, but something which is more common in programming language is called as counter variable, because basically you're um, making sure that forever loop, or sorry, the for loop is counting the number of times it has to traverse through an array. So yeah, I think everybody got this point. All right. So I think you are pretty much clear with what an array is and how to traverse through an array, what traversing is. So if you are clear, then just do drop a thumbs up in the chat box so that we can move ahead. No F for new line, but loops make printed in new lines. Yes, it work. It will work. Right. Okay, I just got one thumbs up. Okay, now two. Fine. I'll come back to Miss Nikita's question. I'll come back and I'll show you an example as well, Miss Nikita. Don't worry. Okay. Let's quickly move to our next part, which is, sorry, which is our functions. So functions are basically going to help us out to understand if, or to help us out to make the code more efficient. Let's say if I want to keep on checking one particular condition or keep on checking one particular um, or keep on calling one particular set of block of code, how may I do that? I can create a function for a same, and every time I want to call it, I'll just write down the function's name and it will be called. I will write down the function's name. I will pass on the values or the parameters, and then that function will be called on. We will get the values that we want. Pretty simple, pretty easy. How to define a function? DEF. This is a keyword which is going to help you out to define function. After this, what you have to do, you have to name your function. Again, name can be any name that you want to give, but whenever we are programming, always try to give names that makes sense. Let's say if you want to create age calculator, or if you want to create a normal calculator, or if you want to create um, vote eligibility checker. So what you can do is write down vote, or if you want to be more specific, write down vote underscore eligibility. So this is how I think whenever you are coding, even like whenever you're programming or coding, you have to make sure that kids also understand that they don't have to name it like A, triple A. Next one will be 4 times A. The other can be 4 times R. No, please refrain from doing that. Now, this is something which is known as clean programming. You need to have a very clean program, which will help you also in future to understand it better. And it looks a little better too. So yeah, now for an example, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just quickly show you how to create a very quick function and how to use it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a function to add two numbers. Pretty easy, pretty simple. As I mentioned, again, add numbers. So this is my function name. After this, I have to use these curly brackets. Sorry, round brackets, my bad. In these round brackets, I have to pass in the parameters which are going to be used. So this is my function where I'm defining the function. This is defining the function. Yeah, this is defining the function. And then if you want to add in a parameter, let me also name this as this. And these are your parameters. Num1, num2. What are these? These are your parameters. Now, what are parameters? Something that you want to be passed on in a function to gain from that function. Simple. Let's say if I want to make cookies, how do I do that? I need to gather those parameters. I need to gather the raw material, and then I will be able to bake them. Same way, I need to gather these parameters so I can use them in function and return a baked value. In a very layman's language, I've explained that, right? So same way over here, after defining my function's name, I have to pass in the parameters I wanted to use in that particular function. So here I will pass in num1, comma, num2. Simple as that. After it, your colon, once you hit enter, indentation will take place automatically. Now, yesterday, after yesterday's session, a lot of you were sharing screenshots that it's not working. The drawing activity that we did in which you were drawing a star, it's not working. I need to take a moment to talk about that as well, because majorly what issue that most of the educators were facing was indentation. Whenever you're defining a function, whenever you are calling if condition, whenever you're calling a loop, you have to make sure that whatever is coming underneath that particular loop or anything that needs indentation has indentation. If I will not have indentation here, it will throw me error. It already is showing cross, expected and indented block. It's already saying that. So please make sure that indentation is there. The second thing that I noticed the most was I asked you to use the pen sprite, but you were coding in Toby sprite. Or some of you were coding in pen sprite, but this line was also there. So you were initializing two sprites in one sprite project file. So refrain from doing that. Another thing, Python is case sensitive. We already had, this is our pen extension. This is how you call a pen extension. This is your pen extension. And how to call and add functions to a pen extension is using a pen variable or p variable. This variable name can be anything that you want. It can be draw also. But here we used pen. And some of you, what you did this. Capital P, capital P. Now what will happen? The computer will get confused because this particular language is case sensitive. It will get confused. It will be like you are calling pen extension to pen extension. So yeah, it will be confused. So you have to make sure this is small because capital PEN is a keyword that we are using for the pen class slash extension. So these were the few mistakes that I wanted to highlight. Making mistakes is important. Do not dishearten yourself. Do not feel like, oh, I'm doing something wrong. No, you're not. You are learning. Making mistakes is a part of this learning journey that we are going through together. So please do not discourage yourself and do not feel disheartened. Okay. After defining our function, after defining the parameters that we are going to use this particular function for, we have to tell what exactly we want to achieve. And that is num plus num2. Now, I should have these value in another variable so that I can return this value. I'll tell you why we are returning it. If we don't return it, we don't get any output from the same, right? So if you're cooking something, if you don't take it out of the stove, you're not getting any output in your plates, right? Same way over here when I'm not hungry. Don't worry, I'm not hungry. I had my lunch. So when you are putting in values, you have to get something in return. So what I will do, I'm typing result here equals to num1 plus num2, return result. Simple as that. This is how you define your, thank you for correcting, right? Okay. So now what I will do, I'll call this function. Now, when you're calling it, now you can see indentation. I'm not using indentation because I have come out of the function. I have returned the value which I want at the end when I'm calling on the function. So now I'll simply call it and get the values. So what I will do, I'll make another variable, name it as sum equals to the name of this function. I'm calling the function with its name and I'm passing the two parameters. So it can be 123 plus 567. Print sum. So this will give us the value that we need. Okay. Oh, I'm so sorry. It won't be plus. It will be just this. My bad. Okay. Now let's click on run. And we'll get the values. There you go, 690. So that is how you create a function with the help of the def keyword, which is to define a function. You have to give a name to that particular function. Whenever you're naming your variables, whenever you're naming your data types, which is any data type that you're using, array, list, whichever data type that you're using, and whenever you're creating your functions, make sure that the names make sense, right? We already talked about it. We want clean and nice code. Then make sure the parameters are there. Add it if you do not want. So there are few functions that do not need parameters. We will talk about that as well in the later sessions. So there are few functions that doesn't need parameter, that just needs to be there to perform some other actions or other task. So that is something that we will come up to later on. But here we are passing on two parameters, which is num1 and num2. We are having one variable, which is again a local variable just for this particular function, where we are adding these two values and then we are returning the result. Now, what I've done is after coming out of the function without indentation, that means coming out of the function, I have called one variable and I've named it sum, in which I am calling the function and passing on these two parameters. And after printing the sum variable, this is the value that I'm getting, which is 690. That means my function is working perfectly fine. So yeah, are the parameters passed by reference or by reference value? A really good question, Mr. Dev. So I wasn't planning to go in that deep, but I think I have to answer this particular one. So whenever you are, so there are different ways to pass on parameters. Either it is by a reference or either it is by value. By reference means we are referring the index value. By value means we are directly referring to the value. Let's say if I have, for example, I have 10. So the value of this particular parameter will be 10. But if I talk about 20, and if I say what's the reference, so reference can be your index number, sorry, reference can be your index number. Let's say the reference number is this. Or reference can be index number of some other variable if you are using some functions, or if you're using sorting of an array, which can be bubble sort, which can be any other type of sort. We are not going that in detail. That's it. Just wanted to give you an example and answer that. It depends, Mr. Dave, it depends on the type of code that you're using and that you want to do. Can it be defined anywhere in code after passing the values? I didn't get you, Miss Nikita. Define what? Like the function? So if you want a function to be defined, so there are again two ways to do that. You can do it, but you have to do it in a way that the value that you are assigning before defining the function doesn't affect it. So I'm not able to recall the name of that particular thing. But when I was in college, we used to make such programs in which we were defining functions before, like after calling the values or after passing in the parameters. You can do that as well, but I think it will be some sort of nesting of functions. So yeah, you can do that. I usually def all the functions first. That's very nice. Indeed, that's a very good way of modular programming. All right. So now I think it's the right time to move to the activity, the first one of this session, which is array in Python. Again, in this particular activity, what we are going to do, we are going to pass on an array containing few numbers. We're going to get the maximum array, which is the largest array, the maximum value of the array. The total of that array reversed means twisted around. And then we want to check if a particular value exists in our array or not. So basically traversing with a condition using functions like sum, reversing it, and getting the max values. So that is what we are doing. Same way you can get the minimum value as well and the average. So yeah, that is a good example. So one of the educator I recall was asking, can we use the list functions? You can, and I'm going to show you with an example of this activity. All right, without further ado, let me quickly share my PictoBlox screen, open a new Python editor project. No, I don't want to save it. And let's quickly start off with this 12, 45, 26, 6, 8, 33. So these are the value. This is the array that I've created. I've named it number and I've added the values right over here in front of you. The values are pretty much simple. Very well explained. Thank you so much, Mr. Rajveer. Are the parameters same with arguments? Parameters is something which is a more more, I would say, programming or program or coder friendly way of calling our arguments. We used to call it arguments when we were in school. After that, we were not allowed to call it arguments when I was in college. But you can, of course, indeed, either you can call it arguments, you can call it parameters. There is one more word for it, which again, I'm not able to recall. But yeah, it is there. So there are three words by which we can call parameters or arguments. All right. So I've created this variable named as numbers. After this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the max value. So to get the max value, it's pretty simple. Just use the max numbers. Uh, and here you will get the max value. So either you can directly print it. Sorry, you have to first of all store it in a variable. Let's name this variable as largest equals to max number, print largest, sorry, number, and then I'll just print the largest variable here. Let's quickly see if it's working, not. Till the time I'm also taking a look at the chart box. In Python, the values that are passed is called arguments and received in function defined definition are parameters. Ms. Ruchi, you are right as well, but when we are teaching this to kids, whenever we are teaching this to kids, usually we tend to use the word arguments because it's their first time being introduced to functions, or it's their first time being introduced to how to call a function, how to pass in parameters or arguments. So indeed, you're right. But whenever we are introducing these programming skills to to students for the first time, or maybe to younger ones, we usually tend to call it arguments. But again, it's up to you and your teaching practices. As I mentioned, there are three ways to call this: parameters, arguments, and there is one more word. So yeah, present boss. All right. So we use the method for a list and do not have the use loop to compare values to find the maximum. Miss Marina, the reason is this, that this exactly we are exactly getting all the values together here itself. In case of list, you can have, as I mentioned, different type of values. So in that case, this max will not work until unless you use for loop. And I'm not even sure if it will work or not. If you have float values, it will work. Integer values, it will work. But if you're also having values of characters, I think it will pass on an error to you. But make sure to check it out. So I've got the largest number, which is 45, indeed, in my array. Now let's sum it up, shall we? So total equals to sum of numbers. Now let me just quickly print it up. Print sum of array, comma, total. Let's quickly clear it up and run it again. Function concept, even 11 students find time to just kids, we have to keep it simple, right? That is why but that is why I'm saying it just to make it simpler. My teachers were to use the words argument, but when we came to college, teachers started using word parameters, and it took us time as well to adapt that word parameter. What is the need of the largest variable? Just showing you that it can pass on functions as well. That's the only, just wanted to show you that this is an activity of how to use array and array functions. That's it. Okay, so I've got the largest number, I've got the sum of the array. Now let's reverse it back. So again, there are ways to reverse an array. So either you can reverse it with for loop, which is something a little more tedious task. But if you want to reverse an array with a short way, which again I was taught in school, is this. Let me quickly show it to you. So basically you have to type down reverse. Like, let's just name it. Is it a function? Okay, no. Equals to reverse is a function. It's a keyword. So let's name it R. equals to the name of the name of the array. In this, we're going to write colons and 1. Now, if anybody would like to explain this part, this highlighted part, colon, colon 1, and why we are using it. Reverse method, yeah, we can use that as well. Number dot reverse, let's try that too. Sure. By the time you tell me what this will do, r equals to number dot reverse. Print r. By the time, do tell me what is this, why we are using this. From start to end with one step. Okay. Right, Ms. Akshay. Elements are displayed in sequence from left to right. Array of number. Okay. Miss Ruchi, it's displaying none. Array, start, end, counter. Very good, Miss Nikita. That is what I wanted. Array, start, and counter. Array is this. Starting is 0, ending is 0, counter is 1. And if I now make this a comment and print r, double colon gives start index and end index and represent the step, one represent the step counter. Very good, Mr. Mrityunjay. Right. There you go. I can't see it. 12. No. There's something that either I'm missing or am I missing on something? Is something incorrect? Miss Pola says -1. Right. And why is this -1 added, if I may ask? For reverse, it's exactly because the positive one is a counter which will print it from starting to end, not from ending to starting point. That is why we are putting it negative value. Right. Let's click on run. I'll go to full screen mode so that I can quickly see it because I have my zoom there. Okay, working perfectly fine. There you go. Now, Ms. Ruchi, I would like you to tell me why this reverse method is not working. You are right, Miss Pola, to count backwards. Marina, Miss Marina, you're also right. It's the last value. Walk through backwards, indeed. Start, stop, step. Very good. That's correct. Why is this reverse function is not working though? Miss Ruchi asked that can we use this reverse function? I want quick answers for that as well. It's commented. No, no, Miss Nikita. When it was not commented, it was not working. It was displaying none. Let me show it to you. It's displaying none when it is not commented. It should be reversed, not reverse. We can try that. Let's do that as well. Sure. Let's see. Are you right or not? Who said that? Mr. Namru. Error. Line number 11. This is line number 11. Error. By default, step is 1. It is optional. Yes. Add join. As reverse will not return anything. True. Reverse will not return anything. That's the only statement. And Ms. Ruchi, you are right. Reversed or reverse is something that we do not use, not just in Python, but it's a function that we do not tend to use in any other programming languages. When I was working with C and C++, um, we were not even allowed to use this way. We were allowed to use the way by which you call a loop, traverse through that array, and then place it backwards, reverse it around with the index values, going -1. Not this way. This is again it's a very easy way to do it. Right. So yeah, now this is reversing your array. Now let's try to find out, is a particular value there in array or not. So what I will do, I will quickly type find and name it as, do we have that? Okay, let's do 26. And let's see if we are able to find 26 or not. Print number reverse. Okay, we'll try that. No worries. Okay. Now here, what we have to do is we have to just, it's very simple. Use if condition, if or else condition, and get whether we have that value in numbers or not. So if find in number, print find, sorry, is there in your array. Else find is not there in your array. All right, clear the screen, go there, clear the terminal as well, go to full screen mode, and then click on run. Coming back to the live stream, checking your comments. We can use in as well, I guess. In where, Mr. Mrityunjay, if I may ask, where do you want to use the keyword in? Can we see the whole code? I will show you the whole code, no worries. There you go. I've got the answer. 26 is there in your array. Let's try it with some other value. Let's say if I have value 2. I don't think I have 2, right? Let's go to full screen mode, delete whatever is there on the terminal, rerun the code. Numbers reverse, print the reversed array is numbers. Okay, I'll try that. You wrote it with in if. We can use in as well, I guess. Yeah, I have used in. Okay, I am trying out one of the comments that I got, which is this one. Let me quickly try it out. This is the comment that I got. Numbers dot reversed and then numbers. Okay, it will be number here for me. That is what you're saying. Let me try it out. Let me see what will happen. Hmm. Okay, it is printing this. I have to clear the screen, then again run it. Sorry. If find in numbers in this membership operator, correct. Whoa, okay. The reversed array is this, which is true. So I think this will also work. Numbers reverse. But what will happen is it will reverse the array forever. We don't want to do that. We never wanted to do that. We just wanted to reverse it once and then just print it up. That is, we are using this value. If I use this, or if I use small r equals to number dot reverse, and here if I use r, Let's see. Sorry. Stop, delete, run again. Let's check it out. Your reverse array is none. That is why I'm saying the reverse array can't be stored. Now, I think I should give it another try. Um, can this work? Let's see. I'm also trying out new things with you all. Okay. I don't know if it's going to work or not, if I'm making a silly mistake. If it works, then it's good for us. Yeah, none. It is going to display that only. True. Okay. So yeah, you see, it will reverse the array forever. We don't want to do that. We don't want to do reversing array forever. We just want to reverse it and store it in a particular variable. That's by this way. All right. Okay. So we are done with this one activity. You can save this activity as my array code and then hit on save and save it up in any folder that you want to save it. Make sure to submit it over your LMS as well, the course. Let's open a new file and let's quickly run to the next activity that we have. And that activity is creating friends list, something that is still very popular when you're using arrays and functions, and something that kids love to create. Because if you know, slam books are something which is very famous for kids, for teenagers. Where, if you do not know what are slam books, those are like small little diaries in which we have few, like it's like a form, but you have to fill in those values. Like what's your name, what's your age, what's your favorite food item, who's your favorite actor or actresses, what's your favorite movie, what's your favorite color. So it's like slam book. So here when I was when I was visiting one of the schools, there was a girl from ninth standard. She was a geek. She was a coder, and she loved coding. And what she did was she made an entire slam book in Python itself. So she will pass on that program to her classmates or friends, and she will ask them that, hey, I want you to fill this slam book. And they were like, it's a digital slam book. And she was like, yes. So you have to add in the values, and then that value will be stored in an array. So yeah, uh, that was a very big code. We can't do that in one session. Therefore, I'm having this particular activity, which is creating friends list. Pretty much similar. You can add in more functions and create your own slam book as well. All right. So in this, what we are going to do, we are going to define three major functions, which is add a friend, delete a friend, and save friend. Save friend means display the entire list. Let's quickly hop on to our PictoBlox again. I've opened a new file. Here, let's define an empty array, which is named as friend. Now, then what we will do, I hope I'm sharing PictoBlox. Yeah. If you have any error during the coding process, kindly do share it in the WhatsApp group, Tech for All, because I won't be able to help you out here. Okay, thanks. All right, let's take a look at how exactly we're going to do it. So we're going to define add, add friend, and then we're going to take a. So this is a type of function that doesn't require parameters. It's a type of function that needs to add in values. So what I will do is over here, I will take the sprite input. So sprite dot input, enter the friend name or enter your friend's name. Then what I will do is I'll use the append. Append means adding the value. And if I ask, where does the append function add the value? Does it add the value at the beginning or at the end? I want quick answer in the live chat box. Come on. Where will the append function add it? I'm looking out for answers in the chat box. At the end, exactly. Up end. It already states at the end. Okay. So I'll quickly write down so it will be friend dot append. The value that we get is going to be stored in answer. So sprite, sorry, sprite dot answer. So whatever value that person will be adding here is stored in sprite dot answer, and we are storing or adding that value at the end of our empty array over here. All right. After this, we'll quickly define the other functions. Then it's delete friend. Here we are going to take the input. So delete friend. I usually tend to keep it this way. Enter the friend name you want to delete. After this, what I will do, if that friend's name is there in the list, then only I will be removing it. So first of all, I have to check if that sprite.answer, which I got, the new answer, sprite.answer is in what? In friends array that we have created. Then what we want to do? We want to friend dot remove. Remove, and then what to remove? The name that we got. Where is the name stored? In sprite.answer. Very simple, very straightforward, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Next, what do we want to do? We want to say the friend's name. How to do that? Define say friend, sorry. And then we want to sprite.say your friends are, or your friend name is, or your friend list is, whatever way you want to display it. Sprite.say friend list, and then we want to display the list. But again, we want to traverse. That is why we are going to use the for loop. For I in friends, and then we want to say, sorry, and you want to either you can print it, but we are doing everything on the stage. So I think sprite.say will be much better. So sprite.say I. Now, is this correct? Now I want answers in the chat box. I have been coding myself throughout this entire thing. Now I want answers. Is this correct? This way of just writing down sprite.say I. I'm looking out for the answers. Where to store the input? We need a variable. No. If you want, you can, but I don't think so it's required, Miss Nikita. No, 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 no. What's the correct way then? Correct answer is I, comma 1. But why? I'm doing cross questioning. If this is correct, then what's the reason behind the same? There, robotics, you are right, but what's the reason behind it? I is the variable. Okay. I plus, fine, but no. Index number. I want more appropriate answers. Array. It's an array. Okay, Ms. Nikita. I heard you. What others think? Why I'm adding this I comma 1 over here? What is this comma 1 doing? Why do I need it? The number is for how many seconds to display the output. Okay. Say I comma 1 add second. Okay. No idea. Miss Marina, you are right. So it is the number that is over here. The second value, whichever that value is passed in the say function, which is of PictoBlox itself. You have to add the number or the seconds, how many seconds you want that to be displayed on the stage. If I do not add the seconds, it's also correct. The ones who were saying, yes, you are right, this is correct as well. But what will happen? It will keep on displaying this. And we don't want that. We want to make it display this particular list only for 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 1 second, that is up to you. Simple. That is why the second parameter is 1 or 2 or 3. Up to you again. All right. No, it's not for index. No, it's not for increasing value. We are already doing that in the for loop. It's not for this particular reason. It is for the reason which Miss Marina stated, and that is to display the values for a specific amount of time, because we are doing it in a say function. We are not printing it up. Okay. I've been using sleep. I mean, sleep won't be used for this particular say function, because if you are not using this particular value, which initially tells how many seconds you want to display that particular thing on the stage, then sleep won't help out. This is way more efficient. Indeed, it is. Indeed, it is. Trust me. Okay, we have defined our three functions. Now, let's go for it. Let's make a very quick menu. While true. So the ones who were not here yesterday, this while true will make a forever loop. So this is basically your forever loop, right? Because the value over here is while true. This is your forever loop. Okay. Now, after this, I want I want the user to enter a command and choose what the user want to do. So I will write sprite dot say, sorry, enter command. Now again, if you want to, you can display the command. You can do that as well. So if you want, because we are doing everything on stage, you can either display it on the terminal. So it should look like print type, sorry, not type, press A, sorry, press A for adding. Same way, we're just going to use press D will be for delete, for deleting, and press S for same. Okay, then sprite.say enter command. Once the command is entered, we want to check which command it is. So if sprite dot is key pressed, because we will be pressing a key. If you can see, we are pressing the key over here. So if sprite dot is key pressed and that key is A, then what do we want to do? Now this over here, A will be in double quotes because it's a character. If the A key is pressed, we want to pass on the add friend function. Simple, add friend. Else, or it will be elif in this case. We want to check if the other key is pressed. If S is pressed, then which function, sorry, D is the first one, right? If D is pressed, then delete a friend. If you want, you can use ifs also if you want. So that's again up to you. If you want to do that, you can do that as well. All the case will work. But once you are using multiple it will check all of it at once. But if you're using if else or if else, it will traverse through those conditions. So it's just about decreasing few milliseconds of time of executing this particular block of code. That's it, nothing else. There won't be any difference. All right, so there we go. I think we are good to go. Let's quickly click on run. Go to full terminal mode as well. Okay, now I want you to answer one very quick, simple thing. It will go on long and long. Okay, stopped. It has printed press ADS multiple times. Why? What's the reason behind same? Miss Shania, please tell me what do you want me to explain again? I will happily do that. Is this only for PictoBlox? This normally works everywhere. When you're using vanilla Python code, it will work on any IDE and even on PictoBlox. But when you're using PictoBlox functions, it's going to work on PictoBlox only. No break statement. Okay, break it up. We need an exit. Okay, let me exit then. You are stating that I need to exit here or break here. Is this right? Break over here. Let's try it out. Let's click on run, go in full screen mode. But I haven't entered any command and it still stopped running. Mishanya got it. Oh, that's perfect. It's written in while true. Exactly. We have to remove it from while true. Remove it from here and add it here just before the while true. And now let's clear it up and let's click on run again. All right. Let's press A, but that's not working. Why I haven't, I think, oh, sorry, my bad. I haven't removed the breakpoint. You do not have to add break. If you add break in a while true loop, which is a forever loop, it will not run. It will just run very quickly and you won't get the time to execute the entire code or basically run the entire code. Now let's run it up. I will press A, enter your friend's name. Who is going to be my friend today? Miss Pola can be my friend. Sure. Enter command. I'm going to press A again. Who's going to be my next friend? Mr. Akshay. Okay. A again, Miss Nikita. A again. And put a fourth option, exit. Yeah, we can do that as well. If you want, I can enter any other name as well. Put name Vivek. Okay, I'm my own friend as well. Sure. Now let's press S. Ola, Akshay. See, it is displaying it for 3 seconds each. Nikita, Vivek for 3 seconds and then enter command again. So yeah, this is how you create your quick little small version of Slam book. So if you want to create the entire Slam book, I am challenging you to do that, to create that code, try it out yourselves, and then share that video or share a screen recording or YouTube video of that particular DIY project in the WhatsApp and Telegram group. So let's quickly save this project as friends list. Hit on save it in the desktop or any other folder that you have. All right, so we are done with both the activities today. And I have to say I thoroughly enjoyed because it was great. Sleep is used for delay, not sleep, but we are using the say function. So we just need to add the value, which will be like say, sorry, it will be like sprite dot say I for 3 seconds. So this 3 is basically going to display that particular value, which is the friend's name for 3 seconds. Don't set the video task, sir. So let me tell you why we are asking you to share videos. So there are two reasons for the same. The videos are going to play a very important role in helping us out to get the top performers. And it's also going to help you to create a repository of your own resources that you can use in your own classroom while you're teaching. So it's going to help both the ways. So it is one of the criteria which is there for the top performers race. Since this particular Python teacher training program is program-based learning, therefore, we can't ask you to make an innovative project on this particular program that we are launching. So therefore, it is mandatory for you all to make your DIY videos, submit them, and then be a part of the top performance race and also get your certificates and badges. Kindly show full code once again. Miss Shaina, the full code with comments is there on your LMS as well. Can you put the attendance in the chat box? Yes, I'm doing that right away. There you go. Kindly mark your attendance because again, it is important for us to take a look at who all were present in the session. And if you like this session, make sure to like and subscribe to our channel as well so that you get notification whenever we are live for the upcoming sessions. How many friends can I add? Do we have a number of elements? You can try out adding infinite if you want, but I haven't specified the number. If you want, you can do that as well. If you want, you can add 5 friends only, or 2, or how many that you want. Don't forget to mute yourself after stream today. I'm so sorry, Mr. Akshay. I won't. The frustration took out right after I switched off my video yesterday. Feedback submitted. Thank you. I thought Mr. Akshay didn't get it. You were not there, but I think you got it. Though I have edited now, I'm a little embarrassed. I've edited it and it's gone out from there. Thank you so much. Is it okay? I will upload video once the video editing is done. Yeah, it's completely fine. So what we are going to do is we are going to have one particular deadline to submit everything. And we will make sure that you have ample amount of time to submit everything. Then only we will be checking all the videos. We will be checking other criterias as well. And then we will pick out the top performers. We quoted you several times throughout the day. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you. And I'll see you guys tomorrow at the same place, same time, with same enthusiasm. And I have to say once again, a huge shout out to everybody for their dedication because I can see a lot of videos that you post at night also. Whenever I'm seeing those videos at night, I always go and click on those links and check out those videos. And I feel so happy and motivated. That is why I was always start with the session with very like feeling very energized and motivated because I know that you guys really want to learn and grow. And that is what my major agenda for this teacher training program is. So thank you once again. I will see you guys tomorrow at the same place, same time. Do hit the like button and subscribe button. Thank you so much, Miss Paula. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you once again. Bye bye.